Hey guys, Manoj Agarwal here. So, been talking to a lot of entrepreneurs, a lot of business owners, CEOs, and leaders, and there's a lot of apprehension about what happens if this lockdown continues. So, in large parts of the world, it's estimated about 3 billion people around the globe are undergoing some sort of a lockdown or social distancing. Almost 70 countries have introduced some kind of home confinement, right? And we've been under this condition approximately what maybe almost a month and a half, 6 weeks, and I don't know whether nobody knows how long this will continue. Some countries have extended it to May. In Canada, for example, where I reside, there is no definitive answer on when this lockdown will be lifted. Um, so far, in 6 weeks, it has been estimated that this global pandemic has pushed the world economy into almost 12% contraction just in 6 weeks. 12%, that's huge. Actually, this is since January to March, so almost 3 months, right? But we are not counting the April months, which has been even more disastrous. This particular quarter, like January to March, it has seen the most brutal global economic equity collapse. The most oil prices went to negative. 26 million jobless claims filed in US. So as optimistic as one can be, I mean, these are hard figures, you cannot argue with them, right? So these are things that have already happened. So a lot of people are panicking, a lot of people are sort of trying to figure out how to cope with this financial fallout. Talking to, as I said, been talking to a lot of entrepreneurs and CEOs. Just recently I was talking to a global sporting good company CEO, and obviously sports in schools, colleges, and even in pro sports, they have been cancelled. They have been yesterday I saw news that there may be some sort of sports coming back without an audience in the stadium. So let's see what how that plays out. But the fact is that with whatever measures we take, the way that we live, play, and work is going to change. There is no question about that, right? So social distancing is going to stay with us. And now what effect that has on the overall economy is anybody's guess, because how do you operate a business where people need to collaborate, in manufacturing, in construction, in farming, in like even in high tech world, like we can still communicate through Zoom and these means of communications. But at the end of the day, in many cases we do have to sort of collaborate face to face, and that will take adjustment. We'll need to figure out a way to collaborate with less face to face interaction, right? So, but all these things are pointing to we have to reinvent ourselves in some way. Some people are recognizing that, and some people are not. Some people still want to live in the old world, but in my honest opinion, the old world is not going to come back for a long, long time. Uh, so it's the right time to observe and think about how this will play out. What can you do to reinvent yourself? For example, the CEO of the global sporting goods company, as I was talking about, they saw their revenue drop 80% within a month, right? Because there's no sports. So they were manufacturing equipment for things like volleyball, soccer, hockey, all team sports. So in order to sort of figure out what they can do next, they were already working on some sort of an electronic band or some sort of a sensor based equipment. So they expedited that project, and they are coming out with a new prototype which has already been tested, and it can be applied in things like tracking COVID-19 patients or tracking the whereabouts of your loved ones or whatever, and it provides some sort of a dashboard. So this was a good example of how this company realized that their original product line may not be the right way to move forward for the next 6 months or a year or so, and they rapidly reinvented themselves, rapidly shifted focus towards what is working right now, or what has a better chance of working. And so that's what they are doing, and results have been positive so far. So this is a good example of how you can think outside the box, and sort of, be very flexible and say, okay, what are the assets that we already have, and we can capitalize on them and move forward. So that's just one story that I wanted to share. If anything comes up in your mind, how you are reinventing yourself, or some ideas that are bubbling up, you want to talk to us, discuss it, please contact us, drop a comment, or connect with me on Facebook and LinkedIn, and share your thoughts. And if you are in the middle of reinventing yourself, please share your thoughts. What are you doing? What are you thinking? How is it working out? We'd love to get your feedback. With that, I'll end this video. Thanks a lot. Stay safe and healthy, and stay happy. Have a positive outlook, and let's try to get through this as as without much more harm. That's what I'll say, because it has already caused a lot of harm so far. So let's try to minimize it. Thanks.